Hi artist, how are you doing? Haven't seen you for a while. So today the topic of our discussion is going to be the life hack about brushes. And the reason why we will talk about this today because we're gonna prepare ourselves to the new artwork, and that's gonna be the still life, and we're gonna do the still life in the same group of colors, same family of colors, because I want you to kind of like improve your skills on recognizing which colors belong to the same group. And we did that art lesson before the last lesson, which was totally dedicated to this beautiful colors when you look at the same uh, landscape and see that in a different time of the day. So when you can see which colors are actually work and more present in this particular time of the day. And before we did the picture about how actually you can determine which colors are warm and what colors are not, which ones are actually warm and another one cold. So it's all kind of bring us to that new lesson, which is going to be the next lesson, and we'll dedicate it to one group of colors. And it's up to you to decide which one you like and what kind of you feeling more about, what's inspired you more, the warm colors or the cold colors. I'm gonna make the still life with the cold colors. And I think that the cold colors, that's the colors which has inspired me the most in this time. Before I like warm colors, and now it's kind of changing. So your feelings about if something will change during the lifetime, and it's nothing wrong with that. And I want you to feel comfortable about colors and about your artwork when you start something, the new project which is like touch you, and you see the beautiful sunset. Be free to kind of determine what exactly capture your attention. Maybe that's the cold colors of the sunset, or maybe that's the warm colors of the sunrise, or maybe that's the beautiful sunny day, for instance, or the beautiful flowers. And that's how you grow, and that's how you become the better artist. So to prepare you guys to that new lesson, I want to do today the life hack about brushes, because I'm kind of doing this for you, because I think that if we will talk about everything at the same time, that's gonna be a little bit too much. But I'm kind of spreading this between modules. So we do first of all, we did about the paper and the way how you choose the paper for a particular art project. And we also did about colors and containers, how to make it available for you and easy for you to use. And don't concentrate your attention on that, but be focused on your artwork the most. And I can tell you that for now, when you just study and learning about the art, it's important to have variety of different brushes, but don't buy too much, because it's not what determine you as the artist. It's not what kind of expensive materials you got, and you might just have the best brushes in the world, the most expensive one, but if you don't learn and don't practice the theory and then practice of the art, the brush is not gonna save you and not gonna make you the better artist. But they definitely help. If you don't have particular brush, sometimes it's really reflect on what you're doing, because the most important brushes, it's of course the bigger one, and the like you have to have, that's the must have, the brush which is this size, basically the kind of size of your thumb. If you're the kid, so bigger than your thumb. If you're the adult, it's the size of your thumb. And if you can see, that brush actually has the soft hairs. So this is what we need for acrylic painting. And it's nice to have the longer part when you can just hold and have a good grip on it, and so it's not very short holder for this brush. And make sure that you get the very good pressed metal part on this, because that's gonna keep hairs in, and you're not gonna lose them. And it's actually sometimes it's happening, and it's very annoying, because then when you paint something and you can see how your brush is fading and getting all this hairs out. So that's the must-have one. And also you need to have the medium size, brush. I will show you the different color, but it's doesn't matter what kind of color of the hairs you have, as soon as it's soft. So that's, you need to have this kind, and this is the size of your you know, any fingers, but not the thumb, but that's kind of like the tip of your finger will be the same size of this brush. So that's the same kind of look like pencil, I guess, the wooden holder and the metal piece, which is keep the hairs together. Make sure that it's all good. Try to pull hairs from that brush. If they're not coming very easily, you get the good brush. So the one of the brushes you should have too, it's the brush which is half the very thin top. So almost kind of if you look at this brush from this point, so it's kind of like perspective, getting in one point. So this brush is very easy to use when you need to get some little details. So that's a kind of nice brush to have. So, and the difference between them, you can see that that brush is have the kind of the flat profile, and this one it has the round profile. That's a nice brush to have. And also you can have the brush like this, which is looks really funny. It looks like a broom for house to clean the dust, but this is a very handy brush, and it's actually helps you to work on the tree leaves on the tree. So if you keep it like that, we will practice later on this. When you keep it like that, you can just work on your trees, on the top of the trees, and it's very easy to make it looks almost like the crown of the tree. So it's very specific one. That's not necessary, but it's nice to have it. So, and then of course you need to have the smaller brush like this. Basically this is the size of I can tell you, like for instance, just the tip of this brush, it will be like 1/3 of your fingers. So the top of your finger, 1/3 of it. So it's like really tiny one. And it's nice to have it for details. Of course, you need to have few of those ones. Some of them will be a little bit, have more hairs, bigger, and another one will be the really tiny one. So I will show you the tiny one in a second. So for instance, just like that. So that's a really tiny one. It's almost like the size of the end of your eyebrow. So, and this is very needed brush, because when you work on details, you have to have this kind. And it's nice to have few of them, like I told you. One a little bit bigger, one smaller, and the little tiny one just for like very tiny details. Just maybe like this, but not the pointy one, because unfortunately these hairs are worn out over time. So get the flat one, but a small one, and that's easier because when you use it as a profile one, not with that part I will show you closer, not with this part, but like profile one. So what I mean by this, it's like when you look at this brush, that's the front and this profile. So you use this brush as a profile when you need to paint details. For some reason it works better than the pointy one, because the problem with the pointy one, when you push on that, it's actually spread, and then it doesn't make like really pointy good dot. So try to make the dot with that when you're painting something, and see if it's actually make the dot. That means that's the right brush for you for the little details. And I guess that's the must-have one. So basically what you're gonna have 7 brushes, and that's the good number. So 7 brushes will save you from run out of the right tool for your artwork. And for some interesting reason, I have this is a friend of mine give it this to my birthday, and this is 7 brushes actually here. So somebody already decided which brushes to have for the artist, and it actually has on the other side, if you get this set, this one or any kind of set with 7 brushes, and it's also gonna have the explanation which brush you work with what. And that is very interesting, that actually exactly here you can see what each brush do. So brushes, it's like your little angels who help you to accomplish your work and make it right. So the only one brush which is on this set and I didn't show you, which is I have, you might have this too. This is the brush which is has kind of like a mountain kind of growing to the top. It's a little bit different shape compared with the other one. That one has the straight top, and that one has like an incline top. So both of them nice to have. So this one is good, and this you must have one. So I will show you a few other brushes that you know what you don't need right now. So for instance, this is the brush, and you can see the difference that this brush has the hairs which is more rough. You can touch that and you can see the difference immediately, because this is nice and soft, this one is rough. So that one, it's good for your work with oil colors. The oil painting, because the oil colors are kind of not that easy to mix, they're more thicker, the consistency of them, it's more thicker. So that's why you have to have the brush which is going to be made with the more rough hairs, and that's what you have to have for the oil painting. But you don't need that now, so that's why we put it on the side, and you don't need this for your artworks right now until we start working with the oil painting. So what you don't need the brushes which is you can buy in a cheap kind of art supply stores. They look like the brushes for actually painting walls. The problem with these brushes is that the hairs are out for a little bit longer than you should have. Like compare with this brush right here, you can see that that brushes, the hairs are step out from the holder much more longer, and that's gonna make your strokes a little bit different and not what you're gonna like actually. So I kind of recommend you to avoid them, even if they're cheap, but it's better to have spend maybe a little bit more money but get the nicer brush. And I recommend you to get the brushes and spend money on them in a good art supply store like Michael's, because if you just get them in a Dollar Tree or something like that in America, or any other stores like that in different places who are watching me, you're just gonna regret about this, because you're not gonna like how they work, and you don't wanna, you just started, and you have to stay inspired when you work. You don't want to lose your interest in art just because you don't have a good brush. So this is why I stop on this, and I really want you to watch this video to the end, so then you get the right tools. I didn't speak about this before, because I kind of was thinking that you watch me and you gonna make the right decision, but then I was thinking, I already talk about paper, I already talk about colors and containers, so I should talk about brushes, and that's why I dedicate my life hack today to brushes, because that's important. And you will see the difference if you were using the kind of like cheap and not very good brushes before, then you will see the difference if you get the good one. And also, if you spend money, and like all investments, they have to be taken care of. So you have to wash your brushes properly, and don't leave them in the water, because what happens, the glue which is hold hairs in the brush together will gonna come off, and then you're gonna lose hairs, and that you will see on your work, and you're not gonna like it, especially if you don't take them right away. So they kind of dry in, and if you take them out later, you lose the color layer. Or if you want to take them when you are working on details, that you can smash the kind of the very gentle piece of your artwork, and you're not gonna like it again. So that's important. So you get the good brushes, you're gonna have the best results. So the last thing I want to tell you about brushes, it's synthetic brushes. So you can get the brushes which is made from the ponytails, like you know, the little horses, hair squirrels, and different kind of furry animals, which is the people who make them can find and get a hold of, but also because we kind of save our environment, and we don't want to wear the fur coats, so we kind of saving environment with the brushes too, because when I was young, that was very popular to have brushes from the real hairs, well, from the animals, but now it's more and more you can find the synthetic brushes. And synthetics hairs you can see and recognize right away. They have kind of like, you know, the red hairs kind of type of hairs, and they a little bit more they're kind of in between of that oil painting brushes, and the that one which is still softer, the real hairs one. But they're good, and they're very durable, they stay with you longer, so you can buy them, so they will work for acrylic paintings. So they might be white too, so it's just a different type of brush, and they are good. So they recommend by the artist schools, and by the stores too, so they almost look like pretty much the same from different manufacturers. So that's nice ones to have. So and also what I want to stop your attention on, that the way how I actually keep them. So what I do, I put them in a container, maybe like a Budweiser, but maybe it's a beer glass, or a highball glass, anything like a tumbler, anything which is you can dedicate to your hobby, and don't use them for drink and for store your brushes. It has to be dedicated to your brushes. And what I do, I have 3 or 4 different ones. So and I because I have more, because I paint with oil, and I have my oil brushes in a container, and I have my other ones in another container, and I have some different kind of brushes in the different containers. So I have few of the containers, and they all looks like vases or the tumbles. So tumble glasses. So and I collect them in them and gather them by sizes, so that is easy to operate with that. For instance, I have some container dedicated to the smaller brushes, another one for the bigger brushes, and I have the container for smaller brushes, and I have a lot of smaller brushes. So, and it's easy to get them from there. So because when you're in the art process, so you in the mood, you inspire, you don't want to look for a particular brush somewhere, so then it's easy. So you put them in the different containers, they stay on your working table, and it's easy to take them. You can also have for your work some handy sponges like that. So what you need them for, just for some things which just happen sometimes, you have to be prepared to that you get like very watery mix. If you like mixed it on a palette and for some reason it was too much water in it, so if your colors start leaking, you can catch that with that sponge, so then you don't ruin the other part of your work, which is your works already, and it's done, and you don't want to redo it, repaint that again. So this is helps. They comes in a different sizes, and some of them bigger for bigger work, and some of them smaller, so that comes handy too. So and I believe so that is gonna be it for the brushes kind of life hack. And also I want to stop. The last thing what I want to talk about is how to take care of them. So when you're done with your artwork for particular timing, when you work and you think that you need to do something else, so you're done for now. Even if you didn't finish your work, doesn't matter. So as soon as you're done, you have to go and wash them. So what's gonna happen if you don't do it? First of all, it's not easy to take the colors from them when they dry, like your palette. You can see that it takes some strings to actually get these colors off. Same thing happens with the brushes. If you leave them like that, it's not easy to wash them. And then when you wash them with the soap, like simple soap, and try when you wash them, try to kind of get through it. So I till all the metal part right here, because if you don't wash them right by the metal part, so the color stuck there, and then your brush lose the flexibility, and that's important to have it. So that's important to wash them, and wash them all the way. And then when you wash them, don't put them in your glass container right away. Don't store them like that when they're just after when you wash them. Put them horizontally and let them dry on a towel, paper towel, and then you put them in. So because if you do it, the water will store inside, and that's gonna ruin the glue layer. So same thing, don't leave them in your water container when you paint on something, and then you just leave them with the hairs goes down. Don't do it too, because what it's gonna do to your brush, first of all, it's gonna completely ruin it after a few times. Believe me, I saw that with my students who did that before. And also what it's gonna do, that's gonna make your hairs in the brush wavy, so they're gonna kind of bend like that, because they will stand in the water will make them softer, and they just gonna be bended like that, and that's not good, because that's gonna lose the flexibility of brush and ruin that. So to wash your tool and your good investment, wash this nicely, so just take your time for that. So, and that's important. So and if you already has experience when you lost some brush because you were negligent and you didn't wash it, you were too lazy to do it, or you were too busy to do it, so then you just can say bye-bye to that brush. So since you already spent money on that, protect your investment, wash them. And that's the last thing about brushes for today. If you forgot something when you watch this video, the video is not going to be long, so you can watch this again. So, and then we will meet with you after a few days, and we will work on the still life. I'm gonna put that still life for you, and I will work with the colder colors, and we're gonna paint and see how actually you can harmonize that cold colors in the still life, because when we work first time at the still life, it was just a graphic project, and now we're gonna work with color. That's gonna be different. And just for inspiration, I want to kind of get your attention in a few seconds, because I was working on the cold colors are still life. It's just the flowers, but that's kind of just idea for you. So, but think about what you're gonna put for your still life. Usually you can use scarves or some pillowcase or like towel or shawl is something like from the fabrics kind of world, and even clothes, some short can work for you. Don't take something with the ornament like my short right now, because that's not easy and it's gonna disturb you and doesn't let you actually find the right color. So get the just plain colors without decoration. And also it should be three subjects, so it can be vase, it can be cup, and it can be fruit. So three pieces, one longer, another one shorter, and something round or whatever fruit form you will find. Lemon, for instance, if you decided on doing on warm group of colors, or apple, or plum, or peach. So fruit, vase, maybe with flower, one flower, two or three flowers, not more than that, because then it's gonna be just a still life with flowers. We not doing that. We working on the group of color, cold or warm. And that's our next lesson, and I will show you a few examples, of course, but it was nice to see you today. And watch my videos, put likes, and sign up for my channel, ask me questions. I'm here for you 24/7. Thank you so much, and see you again.